Nini everyone, Zabora here. So we're going to be covering our next god, who's going to be Amun, as voted in by you guys. I'm not going to be covering composite deities too much. I'll mention them here and there. But for the most part, I'll try to address the gods as singular as possible when I can, just so you can kind of get a feel for them as individuals. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to give some major titles in most of these series because I did have somebody request titles of a few different gods in different Egyptian pagan groups that I'm in because they wanted to use them as chants. So why not give some title names for the deities? So some major titles for Amun would be Neb-Auset, Lord of Thebes, Neb-Kahau, Lord of Appearances, Nisut-Neteru, which is the king of the gods, but that was only as Amun-Ra. And he even has a few Nubian titles, one being Neb-Du-Wa'ab, which is Lord of the Pure Mountains. Amun's name means Hidden One. He first gained prominence in the Middle Kingdom, but he and his female counterpart are found in the pyramid texts, protecting the pharaoh. He is typically depicted as a bearded man with twin tall plumes, and during the Middle Kingdom he took on a wife and son, Mut and Khonsu, although they are not his only consort and son. It wasn't until the New Kingdom that he became Amun-Ra, where he was worshipped as king of the gods. And unlike most deities who were said to live in some far-off, distant, celestial-type realm, Amun was everywhere and in all things. He could be felt, but he was invisible like the wind. His oracles professed his divine will to the Egyptians, and he is said to be a friend to those on the battlefield, whether king or peasant. Creator god in the Hermopolis myths as the Great Shrieker, a primordial goose who laid the world egg, or as the one who fertilized the world egg, depending on the myth that you're looking at. Medinet Habu, which is a famous temple that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, is said to be where this world egg laying or birthing took place. In the Ning Kingdom, he took on the form of the virile ram and the ram-headed sphinx, whose horns would grow when he was aroused. And the more aroused he became, the bigger the horns got. Have you ever wondered where the term horny came from? Well, it's from Amun and his mighty horns. He was said to father the heirs of kings through the queens of Egypt, although other deities have also claimed to do such things, like Khonsu would take and shape the Ka on the potter's wheel before implanting it into the baby before birth. So it's not really a unique type of situation. Amun favors traditional offerings, it's said, like beer, beef, water, bread, but also cinnamon and gold. Frankincense is reportedly a great incense offering for him. Some major feast days for Amun would be the Egyptian New Year, as it marks the birth of the creator. The Auset festivals are a multi-day event, and they were followed by the Feast of Amun after Auset. There's also the Feast of Amun entering the sky in late winter, and in spring you have the Procession of Amun. You also find the beautiful Feast of the Valley, in which Amun crosses the Nile to visit Hetert in the necropolis in Thebes, in order to bring the blessed dead new life. There are others, but they are more minuscule events throughout the year. So, yeah, I'm just going to mention the major ones. So I've got a hymn here, and this is from Merriam-Lichtheim's translation of the Stella of Nebra, and it is found in Celebrating the Egyptian Gods by Sharon Tut-Laborde. She's a huge fan of Merriam-Lichtheim. Praise unto you, Amun-Ra. I make for him adoration to his name. I give him praises to the height of heaven, and over the breadth of the earth. I tell his might to travelers north and south. Beware ye of him. Declare him to son and daughter, to great and small. Herald him to generations not yet born. Herald him to fishes in the deep and birds in the sky. Declare him to fool and wise. Beware ye of him. You are Amun, Lord of the Silent, who comes at the voice of the poor. When I call to you in my distress, you come to rescue me. To give breath to him who is wretched, to rescue me from bondage. You are Amun-Ra, Lord of Thebes, who rescues him in Duat, for you are he who is merciful. When one appears to you, you are he who comes from afar. So if you like our series so far and you want to learn more about the Egyptian gods, I always recommend Celebrating the Egyptian Gods by Sharon Laborde. And I will also recommend Egyptian Mythology, A Guide to the Gods, Goddesses, and Traditions of Ancient Egypt by Geraldina Pinch. So, that is it for tonight, guys. Sun up day.